In this video, I'll show you how to use the Always Visible control extender from the AJAX Control Toolkit to define an area of content on your user interface that stays visible no matter how the user scrolls around the rest of the content on the page. So I'll fire up Visual Web Developer and say create a new website. And because I chose a AJAX enabled website template, I already have both a script manager on the page and a reference to the AJAX Control Toolkit in the bin directory. First thing I'm going to need is a bunch of content just to have some scrolling content. So I've used a snippet to cut and paste, and notice I've got all kinds. This is all just entries that I've swiped off my blog, as my buddy Drew Robbins, who's a DE in the central United States. So this is just the content that we're going to scroll, and in our final user interface as we scroll through this stuff, one little piece of content that we're going to define is going to stay visible no matter how we scroll. So here we are in the source code, and the next thing that we need to do is we need to define that scrollable area that we want to stay visible no matter how else we navigate through our web page. So we can do that under the script manager here. Let's just, after the script manager and before the div that starts our content, let's just add a panel that has a little bit of content. Right? So notice nothing special about this. It's just an ASP.NET panel. Its ID is always on. I've set a background color and a border color and some style stuff, which ideally you would do in an external CSS file. Right? So if I go have a look at this content, you know that I've got this gray box, and this is the thing that we want to be always visible, right? So right now, this is just content, right? So I can run this right now. See, just regular content, but the only difference is I want to use the control extender to make this stay visible as I scroll, right? So we'll add the Always Visible control extender, and then define that instead of being here, I actually want this to be over on the side of the page here, on the right-hand side of the page, and I want it to stay visible as I scroll down through all of this content. So let's go down to our AJAX Toolkit tab, which we created when we set up the AJAX Control Toolkit, and let's find the Always Visible control extender. Drop one of those on the page, and then hop over into source view mode where I can define all of the properties that we need to define. So in addition to the name and run at server, the first thing we want to do is add the target control ID. So let's So the target control ID is going to be the always on message. And the always on message is simply the name of the panel that we specified that contains that little gray box. Right? So it's just the ID of the panel that we inserted into our page. Next, we want to provide some formatting. So let's say we want the let's say the vertical side we want to be the top, and the vertical offset, just make it 10 pixels. Horizontal side is we'll put it on the right hand side, and horizontal offset we'll also make it 10, and let's also add a scroll effect, right? So we can make things scroll faster or slower depending on how we want the user interface. We'll just make it 0.1, which is not very much of a delay. And then just let's go ahead and format this a little bit so we can see all of the parameters. Vertical side. Oh, we don't want that to be middle. We want it to be top. And horizontal. All right, there we go. So now let's go ahead and run our application. And we should see that. See how this message box has been relocated from the top left to the top right hand side of the screen based on the parameters that we set. And now as I grab the scroll bar, scroll down through my page, notice that that piece of content stays always visible even though we're scrolling around the page. And so that's it. That's great. If you want to have a little piece of content that stays visible as the user scrolls, maybe it's a like a little shortcut key help or something like that, or whatever sort of content your application might want to expose as visible all the time. It's just that easy to use the Always Visible control extender to provide that functionality in your ASP.NET application.